hello there. Let's keep your week rolling just right with the right mix of news and conversations. Now, whether you're catching us online, on TV, or on the radio, hop on, join the chat. I'm Paolo de Rosario.
Hello there, beautiful people. I'm Asis-Carilo. We are simulcast on Mellow 94.7 BFM. Here's your daily dose of deep dives and good vibes. Welcome to Beautiful Day.
All right, so we have a jam-packed weekend ahead of us. You know, for those who just want to relax, feeling ko may ma-agit. Kasi, again, we're looking forward to a lot. We're looking forward to, of course, enjoying Friday natin. Can't get away from that. But we're also looking forward to a bit of news that we expect to happen over the weekend, especially on the 21st.
That's right. September 21st, we are going to be having, not we, but the nation is going to be having those mass protest rallies against corruption. So we have different groups gathering here in Metro Manila, in Luneta, and then after 9 a.m. in Luneta, and then 2 p.m. at the EDSA People Power Monument.
Yes, and of course, for those who are not going to be at the venue but syempre want to monitor it, we're going to have a special coverage happening on Sunday. So make sure you tune in for that. 21 Sunday and
Yes, Sunday, 21st.
On the 21st.
I get confused also. I feel like Saturday yung 21st, pero no, it's actually Sunday.
I just feel like nagma-meld into one na yung weekends natin.
I know.
Oo.
What weekend? I don't have weekends.
Yes, that's true. That's true. So actually, you might actually see Anne over the coverage, especially on Weekend Agenda. But of course, it's going to be an interesting time simply because there are so many political groups who are want to push yung mga agenda din nila. Of course, want to try and make themselves heard in their own way. Kasi syempre, there are some who are more anti-Marcos administration.
Yeah.
There are some who are more non-partisan and just want to address corruption. But then there are also some from other segments of the political spectrum that also want to push certain things. Like, for example, those who are more supportive of the former President Rodrigo Duterte are also saying that maybe they should also use this opportunity. Kaya makita natin kung anong boses ang lalamang.
Iba-ibang groups kasi. But you will hear the organizers of these protest rallies saying that this is really an avenue for you to voice out your anger and frustration over the government and not really the government in general, but you know, the corruption cases that are happening right now. So it's really protest rallies against corruption. And it's not just happening here in Metro Manila. There are also going to be rallies in Cebu, in Baguio, in Bohol, different parts of the country. So that's all happening simultaneously on September 21st.
All right. So, of course, thank you so much for joining us here. We are live
Serious
online.
agad? Sandali?
Kaya nga, wait lang. Magka-transition na ako sayang.
Okay, go.
No, but of course, we're live via Facebook and on YouTube. And if you are online, you can talk to Anne. Isn't that right?
Yes, because I always watch out for those messages from you guys. We are live on YouTube and on Facebook. Like, share, subscribe, and comment as well. You can send your questions for our guests today. We are heard on Mellow 94.7 BFM. So to all those listening in the car right now, hi guys, thanks for tuning in. We are also on the Facebook page of Mellow 94.7 BFM. For the hangout later, we will be joined by veteran stand-up comedian Alex Calleja. I am so excited for this because, you know, it's nice to start the day with a bit of laughter.
Yeah, obviously, we started off on a very serious note. Pero, tama ka. We're going to have a lot of laughs.
Yes.
We're calling it right now. We're that confident, right? Because grabe talaga si Alex. Ang taba ng utak. I love the fact that it's just so parang ang universal ng comedy niya, at least for mga Pinoy,
yes,
diba?
You know what, that's true. And also, he's just naturally funny. Kahit nagkakwentuhan lang kayo, nakakatawa talaga. So, we'll have that later on.
And he's actually funny. He doesn't look funny. He is actually funny. Alam mo yung mga ganon? But of course, he can't
It doesn't
wait to
look
talk
funny
to
ba? Sandali lang. Pag dito niya ako kasi picture.
Well, we'll find, you guys be the judge. Of
Okay.
course, we're also gonna be a bit serious as well. We're gonna have a nice mix today, sabi nga natin. Because on Weather HQ, we're also gonna talk about another health topic here. We're gonna be talking to a clinical psychologist, Tofi De Jesus, on World Suicide Prevention Week. And Anne was asking me kanina, why are you talking about something so serious like this on Weather HQ? Sabi ko, kasi minsan kapag maulan,
You know what?
actually, it's true.
It's true.
It's true.
Yeah.
I remember because my yung pamilya ko based in the United States is based in Seattle, which is known to be the gloomiest part of the United States. And for a very long period of time, they unfortunately boasted the highest suicide rate in the region. So,
Yeah.
syempre, the weather actually affects the moods and
Yeah,
actually
it
affects
does. It
the
really
swings
does.
of things.
Yeah.
So, hopefully, we can help address some problems. So, may konting trigger warning po tayo. But then, of course, if you do need help, maybe you'd like to listen to that.
That's right. And for Day Mix, we got music again today.
Yes,
We're going to be
sir.
joined by Sammi Borro, a.k.a. Baby Freeze,
Yes.
TikTok viral and rising pop star. So that's all happening today. Before we move on, can I just say, puyat ako today. So pag I didn't get enough sleep. So if I
Bakit?
kind of float away in the middle of an interview, saluhin mo ako. Kasi last night, I was able to catch Air Supply.
Okay.
They have their 50th
Wow.
anniversary concert yesterday, today, and tomorrow as well. So I'd like to thank.
Sorry, natawa ako sa prod natin eh.
Bakit?
Kasi like, we watch Air Supply. Wow.
Buti nga hindi yung sana all. Pero gano'n, diba? There's like a sana all sound effect. But you know what? The show was spectacular. And of course, they sang their famous hits. And I was singing along to the music. And not
Memorize
just
mo
me,
yun eh.
yung buong crowd. They
Yeah.
were really singing. It was just amazing. And I got to meet, of course, Graham Russell and Russell Hitchcock backstage after the show. I had pictures taken with them. Carrie was there,
Yeah, our
the
guest,
wife
yep.
of Russell Hitchcock. And it was just an amazing show. And I'd like to thank Maddie and the production, Steve O'Neill Productions, because they gave me really good seats.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
ako naman, I'm still floating for all the sports fans yesterday. Pag-usapan natin yan. We're gonna mag-heart-to-heart tayo mamaya about we're gonna have therapy together as we just digest what happened to the Philippine national volleyball team yesterday.
I wanna
Alas
know.
Pilipinas. Because it was painful. Kaya join me later at the end of yung sports segment
Sige.
natin. Oo. So yeah, but until we get there, let's get the show rolling.
Yes, so let's first check the situation in major roads at this hour. Here is what's happening along EDSA Quezon Avenue flyover. On the left side of your screens, you're seeing vehicles heading to Quiapo, moderate to heavy traffic already building up on that stretch. Right side, vehicles going to Quezon Memorial Circle, moderate traffic there as well. Now this time, we are taking a look at EDSA White Plains in Makati, already looking busy as of this hour. On the left side of your screens, you're seeing vehicles heading to Shaw Boulevard, moderate traffic already on that side. Opposite lane, right side of your screens are vehicles heading to Cubao, light traffic on that area. Now heads up to motorists, the expanded vehicle number coding scheme is in full swing. It's a Friday, so vehicles with license plates ending in 9 and 0 should be off the road right about now until 10 a.m. and again later from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. And what will the weather be like this Friday? Let's find out from Paolo as he gives us today's forecast from Weather HQ. Take it away, Pao.
Thank you so much, Anne. Let's take a look at the local weather. Now, we were monitoring a tropical storm Mirasol, but it is now outside the Philippine area of responsibility. But that leaves us with just one. Now, tropical storm Nando with the international name Ragasa is what we are monitoring. Now, as of 5 a.m. today, Nando was spotted about 1,075 kilometers east of Central Luzon. Now, it has maximum sustained winds of 75 kilometers per hour and gusts reaching up to 90. And it is now moving west-northwest at 15 kilometers an hour. Let's take a look at this track. Now, based on the latest track, Nando will continue moving over the Philippine Sea over the next 24 hours. Now, by Monday evening until Tuesday morning, it may pass very close to or even make landfall over the Babuyan Islands in northern Luzon. Now, after that, it is expected to exit the PAR by Tuesday afternoon or in the evening. Now, Nando is also expected to strengthen. It may become a typhoon by Saturday, and there's even a possibility it could develop into a super typhoon as it nears the extreme northern Luzon area. Now, as it moves closer, it will enhance the southwest monsoon or yung hanging habagat. Now, it will continue to bring more rains to southern Luzon and parts of the Visayas region. Now, for now though, Nando has no direct effect on the country, but the habagat will continue to bring rains to the western sections of the Philippines. Now, over in Luzon, cloudy skies with scattered rain showers and thunderstorms are expected over the Ilocos region, the Cordillera Administrative Region, and Zambales as well as Bataan. So if you live in these areas, be prepared for possible flooding and landslides, especially in mountainous or low-lying areas. Now, meanwhile, in Metro Manila, the rest of Central Luzon, the Bicol region, Calabarzon, and Mimaropa, all those places will have partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated rain showers and thunderstorms. So make sure you bring an umbrella or raincoat because sudden downpours are still possible. Now, over in the Visayas and Mindanao, particularly Western Visayas, the Negros Island region, and Zamboanga Peninsula, partly cloudy to cloudy skies and scattered rain showers and thunderstorms are expected mostly in the afternoon or in the evening. So if you are there during that time of day, make sure that you're going to be ready for it. Now, plan ahead as some areas could experience heavy showers. The rest of the country will generally have fair weather, but quick downpours are still possible. Always stay updated with the latest forecasts and advisories to be prepared for the rest of your day. Now, let's take a look at the sea conditions because Pag-asa says there is no gale warning in effect today. Now, seas across the western sections of northern Luzon and central Luzon, as well as southern Luzon, may experience moderate conditions. Now, meanwhile, the rest of Luzon, the Visayas and Mindanao, can expect generally light to moderate seas throughout the day. Now, safety should always come first, so make sure you check your local weather advisories, wear the proper safety gear, and make sure your boats are all well prepared before heading out. That is it for Weather HQ at the moment. And back to you.
Thank you so much, Pao. Now on to our top stories this morning. Senator Jinggoy Estrada hits back at the dismissed DPWH engineer who accused him of pocketing kickbacks from anomalous flood control projects. Former Bulacan Assistant District Engineer Bryce Hernandez implicated Senator Estrada and Senator Joel Villanueva in his September 9 testimony. In his opening statement at the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee hearing yesterday, Estrada dismissed Hernandez's statements as baseless and self-serving. Estrada says Hernandez is not fit to testify as a witness after concealing his gambling habits and falsifying documents to enter casinos. Senator Jinggoy Estrada admits he is vulnerable to accusations because of his past, but vows not to be swayed by lies meant to distract the public from the main issue of anomalous flood control projects. So we're now seeing inconsistencies in the statements, the testimony of Bryce Hernandez, and he wasn't the only one who was cited in contempt. He was the first one to get cited in contempt, right? But yesterday during the hearing, 3 more individuals have been cited in contempt as well. Ex-DPWH engineer JP Mendoza, DE Henry Alcantara, and Curly Discaya, as we were discussing off-air a while ago.
It's funny when you said ngayon may nakita tayong inconsistencies in the statements of the people being questioned by the Blue Ribbon Committee. Pero I would argue na the inconsistencies have been there since this whole thing started.
Yes, exactly.
I remember the initial hearings wherein the inconsistencies could be found literally sentences later. And we saw that in particular with the statement of Curly Discaya about the reasons why his wife was not present at the hearing.
It's not part of our news, but it's nice to talk about it.
Yeah. I mean, like, I wouldn't say nice to talk about it, pero
it's
sobrang
actually
interesting.
amusing to talk about it.
Because
diba?
the reason given initially by Curly Discaya was that there was a heart condition. There's underlying heart condition, and it was a valid medical excuse. But then
Kung bakit wala yung wife niya during the hearing.
But Senator Panfilo Lacson said otherwise.
Yeah.
According to Senator Panfilo Lacson, he received a letter saying that she had a meeting with her current employees that was scheduled at the day of the hearing.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, the letter actually came from him, from Curly. So merong excuse letter siyang dala. So
Pero
sabi niya,
iba
may
yung
heart problem kasi my wife is experiencing some heart problems, so she's not here. And this is her letter. And then when they read the letter, but it says here she's in a meeting.
So, yes, so there are multiple. It
alam mo,
sounds
gusto ko yung
comedic,
gusto
diba?
ko. It does sound comedic, and I love yung reaction ni Senator Erwin Tulfo. He was like, hindi ba kayo nag-usap? Hindi ba kayo nagsabi na, honey, ano bang palusot ang gagamitin natin?
But you know what? It
my
is
goodness.
must-watch TV, not for the comedic
Best,
value.
Political drama that you're seeing on TV right now.
True, but I would say not for the comedic value, pero it's important for us to see
It is.
what is happening, especially when it comes to yung mga investigation nito. So I encourage everyone to please keep on watching, especially with our broadcasts here on BNC. Now, moving on, Representative Laila de Lima says the recent shakeup in the House of Representatives was inevitable. That's due to public outrage on budget irregularities and the ongoing flood control scandal. On BNC's At the Forefront, she said that she believes that Congressman Boji D was the personal choice of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. as the new Speaker of the House.
Right now, ang tingin ko dyan, si PBBM na ang nag-take charge.
Siya na ang bumabaston.
Siya na bumabaston. And that's why he had to pick yung fellow Ilocano from the north. And then politically, talaga naman the Ds have been always affiliated with the Marcoses.
Kabataang barangay.
From Kabataang
KB pa pala yan si...
Meanwhile, Vice President Sara Duterte claims a change in leadership is all for show. She says D and Romualdez are both cut from the same cloth and part of the same political circle.
Sila lang din ang nagplano kung anong gagawin nila sa 2026 budget because this is all about, number one, the presidential elections of 2028 and the budget of 2026. Kasi inubos naman na nila yung 2025, di ba? So 2026 na pinag-uusapan dito.
Now, in other news, several suspects and complainants in the disappearance of multiple Sabongeros appeared before the Department of Justice for the start of a preliminary investigation. Among the accused are socialite Gretchen Barreto and retired Police General Jonel Estomo, who is linked to a group allegedly behind the kidnappings and killings of cheating Sabongeros.
Ngayon lang po, nakapila yung mga complainant at isa-isa silang sumusumpa doon sa mga affidavit ng akusasyon laban sa 61 respondents.
Pagdating sa pagpapanumpa ng mga complainants, ginagawa yan sa preliminary investigation para i-reaffirm ng mga complainant ang kanilang affidavit.
The case is expected to move forward in the coming weeks with more evidence and counter affidavits being presented as the suspects face charges of murder, kidnapping, serious illegal detention, and more. Now, Canada has condemned China's aggressive actions in the West Philippine Sea, with Ambassador David Hartman urging Beijing to respect UN clause and the 2016 arbitral award that backs the Philippines' rights. Hartman expressed concern over China using water cannons against a Philippine fishing vessel in Scarborough Shoal. The ship was on a humanitarian and resupply mission when it was attacked by Chinese Coast Guard. This comes after U.S. Ambassador to the Philippines, Mary Kay Carlson, also condemned China's bullying tactics in the same area. China defends its actions, claiming Philippine vessels invaded its territory, while the Philippines denounces China's plan to declare Scarborough Shoal a national nature reserve.
Now, in sports, Las Pilipinas were celebrating because they had thought they had built a spot in the FIVB Men's Volleyball Championships round of 16. But a challenge from Iran and a late run changed the narrative just a few minutes later. Iran outlasted host nation Philippines in 5 sets, 21-25, 25-21, 17-25, 25-23, and 22-20 on Thursday, September 18 at the Mall of Asia Arena. After a back-and-forth affair, Las Pilipinas actually held match point several times in the end game and actually thought they had won the game off a block with the scores at 20-18 in favor of Alas. However, a challenge from Iran revealed there was a net touch violation and the point was awarded to Iran. The visitors then sprinted to the finish line and dealt the hosts a painful 22-20 loss in the final frame. Brian Bagunas and Leo Ordiales faced the Philippines with 22 and 21 points respectively in the loss as the hosts bow out of the competition. Iran moves on to the round of 16 to face the top-seeded team of Pool H on Tuesday, September 23. At alam mo, Ann, ang sakit nito.
So what
Ang
happened here?
Sakit. Wait lang, baka
Explain.
text button tayo. Let's go. In Philippine sports, this is probably in the top 3-4 category of the most heartbreaking losses I have ever seen in Philippine sports or have heard of or could remember.
Okay.
I remember 1996 Atlanta, si Onyok, missing out on the gold medal. Onyok Velasco missing out on the gold medal after a controversial officiating decision, at least para sa ating controversial. And this one, I would say, it's not the same scale. It was a World Championships. The Philippines, sa totoo lang, if we had to go through the qualifying, we're there because we're the hosts. If we had to go through the qualifying, siguro mahirapan tayo to actually make that. And a lot of people did not think that we would have a chance to win a single game. And yet, we did. And not only that, we were a point away, a net touch away from making it to the round of 16. And we actually, at one point we won.
Okay.
At one point we won. Before the challenge, we won. We were celebrating wildly. PBA players, I know, were watching it. Other people from other sports were watching it because this was a national sporting event that talagang kailangan tutukan. And the way we lost, you expended so much energy and joy. There's a net touch.
Oh.
No, sorry, the unsuccessful. That was an unsuccessful net touch
Okay.
challenge. But the way that we lost, it's going to leave such a mark on what could have been. Because of the fact that panalo na tayo, we were celebrating. There are so many photos
Okay.
of yung it's one thing kasi to not even taste yung panalo eh. And sometimes you just lose close games. Pero ito, naramdaman na natin na, uy, pasok tayo sa round of 16. We are among
You were
the
already
top
celebrating.
We are among the
and
top
then-
16 in the world, okay?
gosh.
We don't there are 32 teams in this entire tournament or give or take. We're number 77 prior to this. We shouldn't be there. But didn't just show up. We actually competed and proved na world-class tayo. I'm talking to all these people na nagulat na kaya pala natin. And here we are, so close to it.
I'm just watching it right now. There.
And had we won that game, we would have been, arguably, at that point in time, the best volleyball nation in the entirety of Asia. Because Japan did not make it either.
Okay.
Had we beaten Iran, we would have been the only Asian team to progress to the round of 16. And that would have made a big mark. But of course,
Okay, so what's gonna happen now?
talo tayo, we're out.
We're out.
But
Okay.
can I just say, even though we're out, I personally did not feel that we could win a single game. Aminin ko yun. I've been covering Spikers Turf since 2016. Spikers Turf yung men's tournament ng professional men's tournament ng Pilipinas. I've 2016, 2017. And of course, I've seen a lot of these guys grow up. Jay Discutado, Mark Espejo, Brian Bagunas. I've seen a lot of those guys when they were in college to where they are right now playing overseas. And I could not be more proud of yung development natin, at yung puso nila, because aminin na natin, we do not pay enough attention at home domestically to the local men's game. It doesn't have as much corporate backing as a women's game. The fans aren't as many at the venues, and we're still developing it. But then ito, nakita natin yung potential nito ng grupo na to, ng Philippine athletes, especially when it comes to men's volleyball. If we didn't win it this time around, that's fine. Pero in terms of the inspiration that these guys have left us, ibang level talaga. My hot take today is that this is probably the most painful loss, regardless of any sport, from a national team level in a while.
Okay.
Definitely maybe top 5 for, I don't know. I have to go back in time and try and remember. Pero I remember heartbreaks. Pero this was so painful kasi panalo na, natalo pa.
But they have left an impact, and it put the spotlight on
Super.
men's volleyball.
Yeah. And you know what? We got to move on now because I could go on forever. So let's start off with what's the tea.
All right, here's our first cup of tea, and it is hot. United States President Donald Trump cheers for the cancellation of Jimmy Kimmel's show. During a news conference with UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer, Trump blasted Kimmel for his remarks on Charlie Kirk's death, saying the late-night comedian had no talent and bad ratings. Trump also made a post on his Truth social account sharing the same sentiment. This comes after Kimmel made comments on his show about how Trump's MAGA supporters are using Kirk's death for political points, and saying Trump grieves for Kirk like a 4-year-old mourns a goldfish. Now, for our second cup of tea, this one is local. Julia Barreto and Gerald Anderson have mutually decided to end their relationship, according to separate statements from their agencies on September 18. Viva Artists Agency confirmed the split was amicable, dismissing rumors about the reason for the breakup as unfounded and baseless. Star Magic also stated it was a mutually decided separation. Both agencies asked the public to respect their decision and thank fans for their love and support for the pair. Julia and Gerald first went public with their romance in 2021. People were actually talking about it already, like the past couple of weeks, that parang nag-break na nga si Julia and Gerald, but there was no confirmation yet. And people were saying na there were rumors na parang ayaw na ni Julia, and Gerald was still trying to, hold on to the relationship. But now, official statements have been released. Pagka nag-break yung mga celebrities, na kailangan talaga may statement, right?
I was going to say, I mean, like, it's a big enough occurrence. So kailangan may statement.
Very, also, parang, business, no?
Yeah.
Parang it's a business.
Well,
it's not
it's
just a
kinda,
love team, it's a business.
Well, that's why they call it show business.
Yeah,
diba?
that's
but,
true.
Of course, syempre, to all of the fans who are very affected by it, our hearts go out to you as well. No, kasi totoo yun.
That's true.
Right? There are so many people who, put so much investment in the love story of a certain individuals, certain celebrities.
Oo.
And talagang nasasaktan sila if it doesn't turn out a happy ending.
At saka ibang klase yung fan base ng mga love teams.
Yeah.
Iba yung loyalty nila. I mean, look at Maine and Alden, the Aldub fans. Wala na nga yung love team na yun. Well, not really a love team, but they were shipped before, di ba? So parang wala na nga now, pero ang lakas pa rin nung Aldub group.
I mean,
diba?
that was a cultural phenomenon in itself.
Yeah.
Aldub was a cultural phenomenon in itself. But in general, love teams, celebrities having to make statements, it's tough. I actually am curious to hear more about it from celebrities' point of view.
Oo nga
the statements pa talaga. But anyway, we have to move on. It's a funny situation, but we have a funnier thing coming up.
Yes, they say laughter is the best medicine, and in times like today, comedy is a lifeline. One of the country's best stand-up comedians is in the building. Veteran comic Alex Calleja joins us later in the Hangout. Stay tuned. Beautiful day. We'll be right back. back to Beautiful Day. Our first guest today has captured the masses with his snappy and relatable humor, and his current order of business, bringing Filipino humor to the global stage. His comedy special, Tamang Panahon, is now streaming on Netflix. Veteran stand-up comedian Alex Calleja joins us in the Hangout. Beautiful day, Alex. Welcome to the show. Welcome to BNC.
Hi, beautiful day at hello sa lahat ng mga nanonood na ngayon sa beautiful day.
Oh
Hi,
my
Ann.
gosh. Finally, nandito ka na.
Oo.
It's really happening. So it's a different morning show setup for you today.
Tama.
Kasi di ba Monday to Thursday, radyo ka ngayon naman.
Tama.
Friday, dito ka naman sa Beautiful
Oh,
Day.
at medyo surreal kasi dati contestant ako ng radio.
Oh,
Professional radio contestant ako. May
Wow.
way back 2014, 2013, 20 nag-start ako ng going back pa as in 2007. Kung nagda-drive ako going to the office, may naka-template ako na mga sagot sa radio para manalo ng movie.
oo, movie tickets,
Trip,
t-shirt.
trip to Hong Kong.
May trip to Hong Kong?
Nanalo ko ng
Nanalo
trip
ka ng
to Hong Kong.
Wow, talaga?
Professional contestant ako ng radio kasi yung office ko ng Accenture, sa likuran ko, yun yung Wave, Jam,
Oo, yeah.
saka 4 na stasyon yun eh.
Oo.
So, naka-template na. Alam ko na mga 7:30 magpapakontest na kayo. Tapos, dahil ko na palalunan dyan.
Hustler ng radyo.
Hustler talaga.
Hustler.
Ang tawag sa professional contestant, iba-iba lang yung boses ko kunyari. Hello? Para ako si iba-iba yung pangalan ko. May mga IDs lang ako na...
Oh my God, may iba-iba ka rin IDs?
Oo, ako yung unang korap. Kaya old school na yung pa-iba-iba ng ID eh.
Diyos ko, wag natin ipakita dito. Baka biglang habulin ka
Oo,
ng
habulin ka
LTO
bigla eh.
or ano.
Oo, tama.
Oh my
But,
gosh.
but Alex, congratulations ha. Kasi you recently won yung Asian Pillar of Humor
Yes,
and Cultural
oo.
Impact and Comedy Award earlier this month. Congratulations
Salamat.
to you.
Hindi ko alam kung legit yun, pero tinanggap ko na lang. Award is an award. Pero hindi, maraming salamat sa Asian Pillars dun sa Okada ginawa. So may mga kasabay naman ako. Tapos nakita ko yung mga personality mo. Kung legit naman sila, so legit na rin yun. So thank you.
So, yun yung
Baka
basis
naman.
mo.
Oo,
Yung basis
kung
niya, kailangan tignan muna niya yung mga kasama niya.
Oo.
Mukhang
Kasi
legit ba?
laki nga
Mukha
niya yung
naman.
trophy dito.
Sa akin, hindi ako
Oo.
pinag-perform. Yun ang doon, legit doon. Kasi minsan pag ina-awardan ka, pinag-perform ko doon sa actual awardee.
Did you want
Ibig
to
sabihin,
perform?
Hindi naman. Pero ibig sabihin, legit to, hindi ako pinag-perform eh. Kasi
Yan
pag
pala yung
ina-awardan ka,
basehan.
para padami ng program.
Oo.
Oo,
May
tama.
award ka, pero mag-perform ka. Sabi ko,
Medyo
Pero ito,
shady.
yes,
oh,
legit
pero
talaga
at
to.
least,
So, yun.
ano.
Saka binigay kagad yung trophy eh, hindi pangako eh.
Buti na lang di natin siya pinag-perform today.
Oo, true. Actually, ito buong performance na to technically.
Ah,
oh,
yeah,
diba?
yeah.
Pero, no, yung na-mention mo kanina, so radyo, you're on radio, you're on TV right now, may Netflix special ka. Does yung style mo change? Kasi, sinasabi nga nila, the medium is the message, diba? Na minsan umiiba yung sinasabi natin base sa, if you're on air, either on the radio, kung airwaves lang, or if you're on TV.
Siguro swerte lang ako dahil yung style ko is applicable sa lahat ng medium. Ang nagbabago lang sa akin yung content, pero my delivery is the same. Nagdadagdag ako ng konting English pag dito ngayon sa Beautiful Day, medyo I will be Taglish.
Okay.
Pero pag sa iba namang sa Bombo Radio, yan, Tagalog naman, parang ganun. Pero yung style ko is basically more on mainstream. Yung yun. So hindi ako nagbabago kahit ano.
But you have been a stand-up comedian for the longest time. Just kasi sa Wave pa lang, diba?
Oh.
Yeah.
Nag-guest kayo and then kasama mo pa nun sila. May mga kasama
Oh,
kang
may
iba,
mga-
marami.
dating
The
may
group,
mga
diba?
grupo, oh.
And everyone. So, yung mga nakakatawa ba before, how has comedy evolved? No? Yung nakakatawa before, what makes the Filipino audience laugh before, is it the same thing that what makes the people laugh now? Pareho lang ba? Or
May comedy na na may mga topics na forever yan. Relationship, father and son, father and daughter, father and wife, tapos yung mga problema natin sa traffic, forever yan.
Yeah, flood
Hindi
Yes.
nagbabago.
Oh.
Ang mga yan ang mga pinapatulan ko. Mga relationship, mga kaibahan ng mayamat, mahirap, mga ganon. Forever yan. Pero may mga topics na alam mong mabilis lang, katulad ito nangyari sa flood control. Pag nagawa ka ng joke dyan, alam mo pag natapos yan, tapos na rin yung joke mo, parang ganyan. Kagabi lang, nag-post ako na nag-viral din. Sabi ko, sabi na wala muna maghihiwalay para hindi mapatungan niyang flood control. Tigas na ulo niyo, Julia and Gerard. Kasi naghiwalay sila. Pwede
Tama,
naman,
yeah.
diba?
We were just talking about it a
Yun,
while
mga ganun
ago.
joke, may isip mo yan. Tapos yung baha naman, di ba?
Okay.
Dati, mataas ang baha. Ngayon, tumataas na ang baha. Dati, under the table lang ang baha. So, mga ganung joke, ano lang yan? Pang ngayon lang yan. Pero, ang talaga nakikita ko mga jokes na matagal, yung mga relationship, mga ganun, yan.
Mas
Forever
sensitive ba yung crowd ngayon? Kasi sinasabi nila na at least online na mas cancelable ngayon yung humor, yung comedy.
And ang bilang writer din kasi ako ng mga TV shows. I know yung pwedeng lumusot at hindi. Nasa pagsusulat yan. Pero ngayon, ang hirap magsulat kasi very sensitive in terms of politics. Pero pag may isang topic na lahat walang political color. For example, tumba, nagsama-sama lahat ng political color dito. Galit lang tayo. So, ang mga problema dati kasi nung si Duterte ang presidente, pwede ka magmura-mura kasi Duterte is nagbumura. Nung nagbago naman si Erap naman, yung English niya, yung IQ niya, pati siya, binibiro niya yung sarili niya. So, pwede yun. Pwede mong biruin. Ngayon naman, pinapakiramdaman mo si BBM kung ano yung, kailangan pakiramdaman kung hanggang saan yung humor ng current. Pero, mas mahirap mag-joke ngayon in terms of canceled culture.
Oo nga 'di ba? Kasi parang you have to be very careful,
Careful ka.
of what you joke about, 'di ba?
Mga gender,
Oo.
religion.
Yeah.
Yan, mahirap yan.
Hindi katulad dati na kahit anong klaseng comedy. In fact, yung mga old comedy movies, 'di ba, pag napapanood ngayon ng younger generation, nasha-shock sila Kasi parang, oh, wow, you actually joke about that thing?
Ang bilis nga lang ng transition. Nakita ko rin sa personal experience ko. 2018, nasa boys night out ako. You can still do sexy jokes.
Oo nga, yeah.
Pag 2019 lang, naramdaman ko na feel ko sabi ko, ay, paano na to? Pa-delikado na to. So, titigil ko na yan.
Di ba dahil nag-asawa na kasi yung mga kasama?
Hindi naman, parang may kita mo eh.
Okay.
Minsan nga, yung nakaraan mong ginawa, binabalik pa ngayon
Oo.
Ayun ang pinakamahirap sa social media. Ang pahirap pa sa social media, for example, nasa bar ako. Siyempre tayo, nag-live to Yung nasa momentum tayo ng joke. Everyone is accepting the joke. Nagtatawanan Yun naman ang gauge mo Pag video yun, in-upload sa social media, patay ka na kasi yung makaka-interpret nun, depende sa mood niya.
Right.
So, kasi kapag nasa live stand-up ka, parang mas accepting sila na...
Ang tawa is the permission Pag tumawa yung audience mo, ibig sabihin, they're permitting you to say anything sa live.
Yeah.
Once na may record dyan, in-upload sa social media, wala ka ng control doon. Magbibigay na ng mga Kung sino pa hindi nagbayad, bahay ng mga, mga critic dyan mga nag-aabang-abang sa social media, tapos maaarte pa. So, yun.
So ngayon, you also do stand-up comedy during weddings? Is that correct?
Weddings, corporate shows.
Okay.
Nasa abroad din ako sa
Okay.
of course sa mga Pinoy community sa iba't ibang parte ng mundo. So, yun. Kaya ang ginagawa ko, I choose may jokes para pasok sa
Oo,
lahat.
right. Kasi weddings, I would think medyo ibang klaseng setting. Kasi,
Ang mga
diba?
conditions sa wedding, meron kang kids,
Oo.
meron kang matatandang bisita because of the principal sponsor, yung mga
Yes,
nakaharang sa yan.
yes.
Minsan may VIP pa yan. Uy, andito si Senator.
At saka
Andito
the
si-
mood of the wedding itself, 'di ba?
Oo.
Syempre solemn, 'di ba?
Hindi, pag kinuha ko
romantic.
after di ba, ang first part naman ng wedding ang yung tradition
Yeah,
first
yes,
dance.
yes.
Pagdating sa second, they want the people to stay. So, ang kinukuha ko as a stand-up. Minsan kinukuha kong host throughout. Minsan
okay.
naman stand-up lang.
Okay.
Mas gusto ko 'yan kasi mabilis lang.
So you filter your jokes according to the audience.
Minsan
the
pag
setting.
nagmi-meeting kami ng couple, in general, minimit ko yung mga kahit na corporate shows, minimit ko ano bang mga do's and don'ts nyo. Kasi
Okay.
you'll be surprised, hindi lang obvious do's and don'ts ang minsan nga sinabihan ako na, Alex, wag ka lang mag-joke about mahabang buhok ka. Sabi ko,
Oh, bakit?
bakit? Although malabo naman yun. Kasi namatay yung anak ng owner, mahaba yung buhok nun. Minsan, gumaganon.
Gets.
Mga ganun
Okay,
weird. Kaya kailangan mo
okay.
tanungin Kasi yung mga do's and
Alright.
don'ts, mga obvious yan. Oy, Alex, wala sanang bastos.
Yes,
Walang
yes,
okay
of
yan.
course.
Pero minsan
Yeah.
may weird
Oo.
Di ba sa mga
interesting.
events, minsan akala mo hindi sila competitive brands.
Oo.
Yung pala, pag nasabi mo, uy, ano yan?
Magkalaban
Subcamp.
pala.
Ano yan? Parang
Yeah.
sub-product nung kalaban namin yan. So, kailangan mo talagang tanungin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sa mga corporate, of course.
Ano yung weirdest event mo? May lamay ba na nag-stand
Meron.
up?
I
Oh.
perform
What?
sa
So, paano
Lamay.
yan?
Kasi
Paano
gusto niya yung comedy. Stand up.
So, hindi
Pag
ka pwede
ang
mag-joke
sarap, ang sarap
about
ng feeling
death.
nun. Napasunod na ako sa In Memoriam. Pagkatapos ng In Memoriam, Alex Calleja, to lift up the energy. Sabi ko, masara ulo to. Oo!
Pagkatapos natin mag-iyakan, biglang tawa.
Oo, yun yung pinakamahirap. Pero siyempre,
Yan yung pinaka-challenging talaga
Oh,
na situation.
wow, man.
ang mga challenging, alimbawa ako ito yung stage. May fountain.
Oo. Okay,
Tapos andun yung audience,
Oo.
challenging yan. Open air.
Oo.
Tapos may nanonood sa paligid. Fiesta. Pero gusto ko yan kasi challenging yan. Kasi fiesta, makikita mo, may kumakain ng mga bola-bola doon. May nagsasaksaan sa gilid. So, patawa ka pala ng patawa. Ang daming challenging pero ang sarap nun kasi pag baba mo tapos nagtawanan. Ang open air kasi, wala kang feedback.
Oo.
Kasi unlike dito, marinig mo yung tawa, rinig mo kagad. Kasi ang rhythm namin yung laughter eh.
Yes.
Yes,
Baga sa gitara,
yes.
ng gitara namin, yung kanta namin, yun
Yeah.
yung lyrics, di ba? Pag open air yan, magsasabi na lang kami later on, nagtatawanan ba? Oo, nagtatawanan doon. Kasi hindi bumabalik sa amin. Yun naman mahirap. Yung timing. Kasi mahalaga yung timing.
So, how do you keep your material fresh? Pag sinusulat mo yung materials mo, what goes on in the writing process?
Ang ginagawa ko, siguro dahil sa professional na ako, ang usual talagang process, i-open mic. Meaning, may mga bars kami na hindi namin masyado ina-announce.
Okay.
Practicean lang yun. Gusto namin wala masyadong tao, 5 lang, para talagang tinetest namin. Yun ang usual. Pero kung minsan, sa actual show ko na ginagawa, kung ano maisip ko, ad-lib. Pagka crowd work ako, minsan nag-work, ginagawa ko na siyang material.
Okay.
So, ang maganda sa live, kaya dapat manood kayo sa live kasi maraming jokes na naiisip ko lang doon sa araw na yun.
Okay.
Hindi ko na ulitin kasi bagay lang siya doon sa
crowd.
gabi na yun.
Crowd,
Oo.
yeah.
So, may
parang
mga ganun, may mga
based
maiisip
on
ako
your
bigla.
observation. Yeah.
Although meron akong nakahandang jokes, pero may mga sinisingit-singit din.
Okay.
So, yung off-stage Alex Calleja, is it still a comedian?
Oo, di ako mahirap nung ganun. Nakakasira na ulo yun. Yung pagbaba. Tatahimik ka because of, iisip-isip ka ng mga jokes.
Oo.
Of course, napapagod din. Pero ang default ko, gusto ko talaga magkwento na magkwento. Ano talaga ako, life of the party.
Okay.
So, mahirap magbago na masyado ng mga... May iba. Pero nakaka-weird din yun eh. Parang ano.
Paano ka ba nag-start being a comedian?
Sa kahirapan, mahirap muna ako. Tapos, hindi. Siguro dahil sa it was a joke pero sa naging paglaki ko sa buhay, kung mayaman ako, hindi ako maging stand-up. Kung anak ako ng mga,
Okay.
di ba, ng mga, kung nepo baby ako, di ako maging stand-up kasi yaman ko na eh.
Okay.
Sa mga experience ko sa buhay, nakukuha ko yung mga malungkot dati, nakakatawa na ngayon, kinukwento ko lang, pero malungkot dati yun. Oo,
okay.
so yun ang mga nangyari, kaya naging comedian ako. Pinanlaban ko sa gutom.
Alright.
Halimbawa, para masama ako ng barkada ko, ang taya ko lang is kwento. Sila yung gastos. So ako ginamit ko yun. Yung pagsasalita ng comedy.
Kaya naman naisip na kaya mo itong gawing profession talaga?
Nasa IT programmer ako sa Accenture for 7 years. Tapos maganda yung swelduhan. Pinagbigyan ko lang yung magulang ko na makagraduate ng ComSci. Tapos pinagbigyan ko yung asawa ko na meron kaming stable job. Pero at the side, nag-stand up ako. Every time na nagpapatawa ako, parang may something siya. Kaya nga, sabi ko parang kumikita, binabayaran ako ng certain amount. Tapos nung nakita ko na yung kinikita ko is almost equal na doon sa kinikita ko sa regular job ko. Sabi ko, pwede na to. Tapos doon ako nag-resign. Hindi kagad ako umano na parang wala man lang ako assurance.
Oo.
Pinagsabay ko muna. Binawasan ko yung tulog. Binawasan ko yung asikaso sa pamilya. Nag-focus muna ako sa comedy saka sa trabaho. Nung nakita kong okay na to, binitawan ko na.
Actually, na-notice ko nga yan kasi I've been watching a few showcases na live. And then, normally, karamihan sa mga comedian dun, may day job talaga.
Yeah.
And normally, siguro, kailangan talaga pag-isipan kung full-time talaga nila.
Dapat.
Because, syempre, risky din yung comedy, risky din yung
Yeah.
performing or any arts in particular.
Especially noon kasi wala pang audience dati, ang audience dati is nanonood sila sa mga gay comedians. Yun ang sikat nun eh. So, talagang trinabaho namin nung mga early 2009, 2008. Si Tim Tayag pa yung
Yeah, Tim
naka-discover.
Tayag.
Si Tim
Yeah,
Tayag
yeah,
na
yeah.
naka-discover sa akin yan. And then, si Tim Tayag, mayaman kasi yun eh. Kaya kaya medyo hobby niya lang to eh. Hindi katulad ko, talagang ito yung ano ko. So, nung na-discover niya ako, wala pa masyadong ano noon, taong nanonood, tatatlo lang. Nag-meeting pa, nakastolo pa. Oo, meron namang nakita ko, grupo, paparating 30, papasok, sabi ko, oh my God, 30. Yung pala, lalagpasan kami, manonood ng band sa taas.
Tingnan mo, you are naturally funny. But I feel like hindi mo naman intention to make us laugh, but what you're saying, it does make us
Hindi,
laugh.
intention niya yun. Ano
Pero,
ka ba?
I asked this question kay Ari Neiman when he guested last week on the show na napag-aaralan ba yung being funny? Can that be learned?
Nung nag-workshop ako, nagpapa-workshop ako,
Okay.
ang sinasabi ko na pag-aaralan. Pero deep inside, hindi talaga. Gusto ko lang kumita. Part ng ano ko na, hindi, pinag-aaralan yan. Pero meron, it's either you have it or you don't. Pero dahil ka nagpapa-workshop ako, kailangan ko ng pera ng pandemic. I apologize sa lahat ng mga naging estudyante ko. Wala talagang pag-asa pag wala kayo. Pero kailangan ko kumita ng 2,000 per person eh.
Pero kasi 'di ba meron talagang mga celebrities na sinasabi ang hirap maging funny. It's
Oo,
easier
yeah.
pa to be dramatic pero to be naturally funny ang hirap.
It's ano yun, meron ka talagang timing.
Okay.
Sige, merong mga, siguro pwede mo aralin, pero advantage lagi yung innate. Meaning,
Okay, yeah,
meron ka talaga.
yeah.
Kasi bakit? Sa isang pagkakataon na isang taong aral, siyempre, denumero ka, pag na-try ka sa mga adlib-adlib, lamang pa rin yung may talagang sense of humor. Kasi sisipa yung,
Yeah.
parang doktor yan. Di ba? Pag talagang bobo kang doktor, prayers na lang ang bibigay sa'yo ng doktor. Kasi pag magaling kang doktor, makakaisip ka ng, mukhang parang pwede kong putunin to ugat na to. Kasi matalino ka eh. Pag yan, bobo kang doktor, pag nakita mo, ayoko to galawin, hindi ko ito pag-aralan.
Sara na lang natin.
Prayers
Hayaan na
na
natin,
lang yan.
hindi naman
Prayers na
makikita
lang
pag
yan.
sinara na.
Naniniwala ako doon, pero yun talaga ang real talk yun eh. Real talk talaga yun.
True though. Okay.
Alam mo, na-mention mo kanina yung, na-mention natin kanina yung cancel culture, especially sa political, yung mga political concerns, diba? Dito sa Pilipinas, nakita natin si Bitoy actually impersonating si Sara Diskaya.
No, it's Sara Diskaya
Impersonating
impersonating
Bitoy,
Dapat
obviously.
ako magre-reklamo. Ako kay Bitoy, magre-reklamo ako doon. Sabi tayo, mukha pa ni Bitoy yung ginaya mo. Diba?
Oo. Tapos nakita natin sa United States, di ba, si Jimmy Kimmel,
Yeah.
na-cancel yung buong show niya after making a joke about yung reaction ni President Trump.
Nasasyak ako sa nangyari sa US kasi ang idol natin sa US base sa openness and freedom of expression, di ba?
yeah.
Pwede kang magbiro diyan ng actual hindi code, 2 produkto sa commercial, pwede mong sabihin, gumagawa ka ng commercial ng isang soft drinks, sasabihin mo mas magaling ka sa isang soft drinks, pangalan.
Yeah.
Pagdating sa joke, pwede mong tirahin si Trump. As in impersonation, Trump, wala man lang Denny Trump, Donald Trump ang pangalan. Tapos ngayon medyo nasasyak ako sa nangyayari because of yung kina-cancel ng mga shows. Parang
yeah.
unti-unting nagkakaroon sila ng, kasi believe tayo sa kanila dahil you can say anything eh.
Yes.
Pero of course, yung mga stand-up comedian nila can still say anything. Pero nakakatakot lang yung nangyayari na to dahil 2 institution to. Hindi na naman si Jimmy Kimmel ang una eh.
Oo, tama.
Ang sumunod, ang una si
Gober.
Si Gober, diba?
Yes.
Yes.
Inawardan tuloy ng sa Emmys. Standing ovation siya tuloy. So ganun yung, kung napapansin nyo, medyo may mga nasasabi ako sa mga topics natin. As a comedian, I read a lot.
Yeah.
Hindi ko nire-read extensively. I just read
Okay.
and then makakuha lang ako ng konting.
Pang-headline.
Para lang,
Oo.
anytime, I can use it as an ad-lib.
Yeah.
Kasi pag
yeah.
may sumigaw dyan ng audience na, sasabi mo ka, Jim, may ma-answer ka. And ganun ang comedy. You have to have inputs para kahit paano makapag-usap tayo ng maayos.
Have you ever gotten in trouble for a joke that you made?
Sobra kasi akong yung natutunan ko sa corporate is na-apply ko dito sa showbiz. In terms of in writing, I go with the statistic, meaning mas relatable ang gusto ko.
Okay.
And then I make sure na funny siya. Ano ibig sabihin niya? Halimbawa, tayo nag-uusap ngayon, nakikinig. Ang topic ko, comic book. Siguradong may mawawala akong audience kasi hindi naman sila nag-comic book. Halimbawa, 10 na kayo nanood sa akin, namili ako ng comic book, 4 lang nagbabasa, tanggal na yung 6. Sa 4 na yon, ang pinili ko pang comic book, halimbawa, Green Lantern. Sa 4 na yun, 2 lang yung Green Lantern. So sa 10, 2 na lang yung patatawanin ko. So, para hindi ako magka-problema, doon ako sa mga relatable and medyo safe. In terms of I can be I can choose the dark political and whatever.
Yeah,
It's so easy. Kasi nagsusulat ako sa Showtime, nagsusulat ako sa Going Bulilit, and it's pero sinusulat ko ng maayos. Natutunan ko yan sa television. Para hindi ka ma-MTRCB, dapat ang sulat mo kahit borderline yan. Pag nag-isip sila ang mag-iisip muna ng, ba't natin naisip to? Wala naman sinasabi sa joke. So, ibig sabihin, masamang mo. Lagi ako may atras.
Okay.
Yeah.
Para maliwanag na For example, may isa akong superhero na sinulat. Bulero. Bull siya, tapos bolero. Pag kayo
Thank you for the explanation, ha?
Hindi.
Kaya kailangan naman ng explanation.
Sa morning show.
Isang siyang bull
Oo.
na bolero. Pag
Oo.
diniktong mo, sumasama na nasa isip nyo.
Tama.
Buti nga, hindi ko pa sinama yung anak niya. Si Bulbulilit. Kasi anak niya yun, si Bulilit. So yun. So, hindi ako na MTRCB nun. Kasi pag na-MTRCB ka, tinanong ko yung kausap ko, bakit ano po bang nasa isip nyo?
So, safe ka.
It's
Safe
your
ka.
fault.
na.
Oo,
Safe ka
Mas
na.
ba nasa isip mo? Katulad kaya, nasabi ko to sa live. Hindi nila maisip ngayon. Una, tulog pa sila.
Sana tulog pa sila.
Hindi.
Baka
Iiwalay
magising-
niyo yun.
Oo.
Iiwalay niyo yun.
Oo. So,
my goodness.
di natin niya i-clip, ha? Okay. No, pero yung approach mo ba, sa palagay mo
The
ba?
Chicago Bulls.
Oh, true.
Bolero.
Exactly.
Di ba? Ay, may anak siya.
Oo.
Bulilit. Di ba nagising tayo lahat?
Na-nervous ako ng
Kasi ang
konti, eh.
tanong nun what are you doing? Hindi. Pero never ako. I perform
Kasi.
sa church. Church.
Church, oo.
Yung altar. Puro pare. And it was okay.
Okay.
Parang okay. Nag-perform ako sa parang all-girls school na Tapos okay naman siya. In fact, may nareklamo ako the other way around. Ba't hindi
Ikaw
raw ako
ang
bastos?
nagreklamo?
Hindi, nireklamo ako. Di raw ako
oo.
bastos.
Oo.
Kinuha ako ng mga doctors, urologists.
Oh.
Siyempre, ang default ko, hindi bastos. Pagkatapos nung kinausap ako ng organizer, sabi ng mga doctors, nag-i-expect sila na more bastos. Doon ako nareklamo.
Oo.
Kasi hindi naman ako...
Para mas okay
Imbes
yata
na
yun.
i-censor ka,
Remember,
they wanted you to be more,
laking corporate ako.
Okay.
Ang nagsimula ako magpatawa sa corporate world kasi nagtatrabaho ako doon.
Oh.
Yeah.
So kinukuha nila ako to host and to do stand-up sa kumpanya ko. So under ako ng HR. So ang practice ko is wala akong sweldo pero pwede akong matanggal pag bumastos ako. Kaya yun ang
Oo.
training grounds ko.
Oh,
So
yeah,
ang
Kaya
default
safe
ko is
ka.
Kaya
pero
safe.
Okay.
ang talaga ang side parang side personality ko is bastos.
Okay.
Kasi yun yung mga naging
So, we are now showing yung next shows, no? If I'm not mistaken, September 27 upcoming mo bago mag-birthday show
Ayun.
sa Singapore.
Yan. Sa Singapore ko, sa September 27, Sota Concert Hall yan. Pangalawa ko na dyan, sold out yan dati. So, sana magkita-kita tayo dyan sa Singapore, September 27. Ticketmaster.sg. Tapos pagkatapos nyan, meron akong 1 week na birthday show. Kasi doon ko i-record yung pangalawa kong Netflix.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Second Netflix show.
Second. Medyo kailangan. October 3, sa Maybank Theater, pareho yan, October 3 and 4. Sold out na yung October 4, pero hindi pa sold out yan. Nilagay ko lang para maganda tignan. Bubukas ko ulit yan mga last week para, kunyari, because of the, mga business, business technique yan.
Business
I-sold out
strategy.
mo, tapos i-open mo after 2 weeks na, because of insistent public demand, we're adding slots, pero tinago ko lang muna. Tapos nilabas ko ulit yan. Kausapin nyo lang ako, email nyo ako, bibigay ko sa inyo yung mga dyan. October 8, Proscenium Theater, Makati, Rockwell. Bagong-bago yan. Nakuha ko ng ex-deal yan, kaya okay yan. October 10, sa Alabang yan. May pera dyan sa Alabang. Ang daming mga...
Doon naman
ang dami, ang dami dyan. Daming pera dyan sa Alabang.
Okay.
May sariling mundo yung mga yan eh. Parang BF yan, sa BF Resort.
ayan.
BF, iba yun.
BF Resort, may sariling bansa yun eh.
Paulo, taga-Alabang.
Taga-Alabang, yung mga taga-South, may
konyo
mga
yan
may
eh.
waga
Oo.
yung mga yan. Kailangan imbestigahan din natin yan eh.
Oo.
Hindi nagbabaha dyan eh. October 11, Music Museum Green Hills. Yan ang tunay na mayayaman sa Green Hills.
Oo naman.
Mga San Juan, yan mga old... ito talaga ito.
yun.
Ito yung mayayaman na hindi nagpapabideo.
Oo,
Tapos
tama.
sinasabi na may mga kotse sila. Yan mga mayayaman Green Hills. Yan, kaya pinili ko yung mga lugar na yan. Hindi ko lang na-anticipate yung Bulacan. Sa Bulacan pa lang yun ang may pera.
Sayang. Malay mo,
Arena na yun eh.
Philippine Arena.
Malaki na masyado yun.
baka mamaya ma-add mo pa doon sa lista.
Na-try ko, maghanap ako sa Bulacan.
Oh my gosh.
Sold out ako lagi sa Bulacan.
Sandali, kailan ba birthday mo?
October 7.
October 7. Okay, advance happy
Advance happy
birthday.
birthday.
Birthday week. Di ba? Weird. Di ko akalain gagawin ko yun.
Ah,
Di ba
well,
parang, uy, birthday ko ngayon. Di ba napaka Gen X. Parang ganun. Yun.
Teka
So,
lang. Okay.
Ay, sandali, meron pa pala.
Ah,
sa
meron pa. Okay.
New Zealand. Nandiyan ako sa New Zealand.
Wow.
October 17 sa Wellington. October 18, Auckland. October 19, Christchurch. Ang konti pala na bumibili. Kaya nababother ako eh. Kaya lang, may puhunan naman ng producer yun. Di bahala kayo. Pero, tapos, Australia.
Marami din yung Filipino community
Oo,
doon
pero
sa New
walang alam
Zealand.
sa akin. Di ata kilala ako. Kailangan ko muna gumawa ng scandal para
Okay.
malaman.
O tapos,
Yan,
after,
tapos
meron kang
Australia,
Sydney. Okay.
October 24,
Melbourne.
Melbourne, October 25, sa Sydney. Yan, okay na ako dyan. Okay na yan. Maganda na yung bilihan dyan eh.
Okay.
Oo, kasi pangalawang
Okay.
punta ka na dyan sa New Zealand. Unang punta ko. Lalo sa Christchurch. Hindi ko alam kung masyadong religious siguro doon. Christchurch
Church pa. Oo, gets ko yun.
Pero if they want more information, syempre, i-follow ka lang nila on your social media accounts, no? Instagram, Facebook, Alex Calleja.
Oh.
Okay, we're already running out of time, but before we let
Ba't
you
may
go...
time ba to?
Oo!
Akala ko
Dito
live tayo.
recorded.
Di ba beautiful day?
Oo.
Oh,
Actually,
di
yun
ba
yung
araw
tanong
to?
natin. Yun yung tanong natin, di ba?
Kaya nga, our show is...
Beautiful day. Dapat sila nyo beautiful morning. Para morning lang tayo. Beautiful day. I
Sorry,
thought it was the
ah.
whole day. Oh my
Hindi
God.
Hindi namin nalinaw sa'yo. I'm sorry,
Oo.
akala mo ba hanggang 11:59 to?
Siyempre, beautiful day is the whole day.
Whole day
Sunrise
dapat.
to sunset. Beautiful morning lang para meron tayong morning God.
Okay, sandali.
And in fact, Bilyonaryo Channel to, you can afford naman siguro mag-extend tayo ng time. May pera din ako. Gusto niyo ba maglaban tayo dito? Bayaran ko to mga 5 minutes. Uso naman ngayon yan.
Teka lang, Alex. Okay, so the show is called Beautiful Day. What makes your day beautiful?
Waking up at 5 a.m. na ang call time is 6:30 na ang feeling ko 7 talaga. And pinagtsaa ako. Ang sarap naman ng tsaa dito. Pero nagtataka lang ako, bukas na yung tsaa.
Binuksan na niya for you.
Hindi, mukhang gamit na ibang... Mukhang ni-recycle yung... I encourage
Kaya niya ng FT namin,
encourage
no?
recycling na, pero hindi naman siguro ni-recycle yung tsaa.
Pwede naman.
Kaya pala hindi na umiitim yung tsaa ko. Mga pang-limang gamit na siguro yun.
Grabe.
Pero it's a beautiful day.
It's a beautiful day pa
Well,
rin.
at
oo.
least it's still beautiful,
Oo,
diba?
sobra.
Yeah. Oh my
Sa
God,
napansin ko lang,
Alex.
hanggang tsaa lang in-offer nyo, walang solid, no? Walang bread. Oh. Talagang lumipat na ako nagpunta ako sa waiting area, tsaa. Pagpunta ko doon sa makeup area, tsaa pa rin. Tapos pinatuloy itong bottled water. Puro liquid. Bilyonaryo Channel, ha? Remember, panindigan niyo yan. So, yung studio nyo, may something dito.
Oh, like what?
Parang may iba to dati. May basement, sa basement tayo eh.
Sandali, wag kang ganyan kasi si Master Hans din, di ba sabi niya may nasisense siyang presence.
Hindi, may sense ako dito kasi hindi na ako makakalabas dito kasi may pailalim to, paano, basta parang hideout, alam mo yun, parang...
Lalo na nung pinoint out mo na walang
Oo.
pagkain. Hindi ka na
Oo.
makakalabass dito. I'm so sorry, Alex.
Niresearch ko kasi, who owns Bilyonaryo Channel?
O, teka lang, alam mo-
Group siya.
Alam mo, na tayo ng time.
Sorry.
Pauso tayo, Alex.
Naubos na yung binayaran mo 5 minutes, tapos na.
Oo. I know. Pero Alex, maraming salamat. Thank you so much.
my
Can't wait for your next Netflix
Yes.
special. See you in New Zealand and Australia.
Oh, isa sa natutunan ko dito, please refrain from touching the lapel in your chest area. Thank you. Napakalaga. Walang no smoking, no emergency, in case of emergency. 4 na sign na nakalagay na ganyan. Hindi ko alam kung ano experience nyo. May mga guest ba kayo na, alam nyo, ba't gines nyo ba si Nora Honor dati? Alam nyo, parang
Pwede lang.
parang
Pwede
nag-meeting
lang.
kayo na, guys, ang problema ng show na to, our guests keep touching the lapel. Sorry.
Alex, maraming salamat. I'm gonna have to cut you off, but we'll have you back soon. Maraming salamat. When we return, ang hihirap ng transition nito, guys. Sorry.
Sige.
When we return, we'll talk about the importance of World Suicide Prevention Week with clinical psychologist Rechtoff and Toffee De Jesus. Ang hirap ng transition na yan.
Yeah,
Oh my
we're
gosh.
so sorry, guys. Plus, of course, our horoscope of the day with Master Hans Kua. So stay with us. Beautiful day. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. You're still watching Beautiful Day. This is Weather HQ. Now, every life matters, and every conversation about mental health can make a difference. Now, this World Suicide Prevention Week, we're putting the spotlight on awareness, understanding, and hope. To help us talk about how we can all play a part in prevention, we are joined via Zoom by Mr. Toffee De Jesus, clinical psychologist at East Avenue Medical Center and a member of the Dementia Society of the Philippines. Magandang umaga, Sir Toffee, and welcome to Beautiful Day.
Hi, good morning, Paolo. Thank you very much for inviting me.
Well, first of all, this is a very serious topic, World Suicide Prevention Week, and we talk about its importance all the time. Let's put it in a Philippine context, though. Why is it important to, one, highlight this World Suicide Prevention Week, and at the same time, how big of a problem is it in the Philippine context?
Yeah, actually, here in the Philippines, it's already been an increasing trend that a lot of Filipinos have been opting to undergo suicide as a source of solution or relief from the stress that they're having with everyday life. So since 2010, that number has been increasing. And at the same time, the demographic has become broader, given the fact that even younger individuals now opt to do that as a response to their situation. So as of now, all the more that this prevention is very much necessary because, as you know, one life lost to suicide is already one life too enough. It's already one life too much. So in that situation, we are now really campaigning as part of the DOH's program to ensure that suicide does not become the standard in which Filipinos would have to respond to their situations. And at the same time, we are then really fostering peer-to-peer counseling, peer-to-peer facilitation, because we are empowering people to understand that suicide may be prevented, and at the same time, options are available on how to properly manage the situations that you're going through, and that there is more effective reactions that can be done by the individual.
Sir Toffee, I want to talk about people who know those who are struggling with suicidal thoughts, with self-harm. What are the most common misconceptions do people have about those individuals, those types of individuals who have thought about suicide or are struggling with those thoughts?
Okay, coming from an observer's perspective, most people assume that your capo or your fellow person is okay. They're doing fine. He's gonna be fine. He's gonna be okay with that. He can then jump back to his feet. And in that situation, that is very critical now because that is the junction where in which that person might decide differently on the way that he would react to the situation. Sometimes we then tend to ignore certain signs like calls for help, calls for assistance, maybe some level of getting or trying to get attention from the social media, we then try to invalidate that. We try to say, hey, you know what, he's just acting up. He's just trying to get our attention. But that's the point. If a person already uses this kind of medium in order for us to get our attention, okay, then it is very important for us to then start our intervention. By doing so, we need to understand that, hey, you know what? We need to then take action out of it. We need to be curious, we need to be concerned, and we need to act immediately. So in this situation, I often tell my patients, you always try the ORA method. So what is ORA? Observe, reflect, and ask. Observe what the person is doing, reflect it back to the person, and lastly, ask the person if there's something that you need to talk about. In doing so, there's now a structured way of you approaching the person so that it doesn't seem to be that you're just trying to intrude to their privacy. The important thing here is that we are trying to empower people to be more concerned, to be more involved, because suicide is really preventable.
Sir Tofi, when we talk about some of the warning signs, na-mention niyo po kanina that there are moments wherein some people might seem okay. When we talk about any usual warning signs, siguro that some people may not notice, what might that be just so they can start yung observation and reflection, and of course, the action that you mentioned a while ago?
Okay, among them, Paolo, what you need to first understand is that there is social withdrawal. People tend to distantiate themselves from the usual gang of people that they belong to. So it's like, for example, your friend does not opt to take lunch with you anymore, or perhaps they are not as engaging when they're doing their work. They are not as participative to group activities. So they tend to see that it's no more of there's no use anymore of joining in these particular groups, and therefore it's better for them to just go their own way. In addition to that, there is a possibility that they are now trying to sell off certain things that belongs to them, or even worse, they give it away. So, for example, there is a pair of rubber shoes that is the prized possession of this friend of yours, and then this person starts to give it away. Then that's a good sign already. In addition to that, they tend to be more contemplative of themselves. They try to just work within their own selves. That's because they already might have lost the trust of how other people could help them. In suicide, there is this combination of helplessness and hopelessness. So meaning the person feels that there is a problem, I could not solve this, I tried doing certain options, and yet it still failed. That's why I'm now getting to the point that I'm looking at suicide as the only sole remaining option that I have. So if, for example, you're seeing a family member who is not as participative, maybe, for example, if you are working, maybe perhaps you are not anymore as enthusiastic with your job, or maybe in school as students, you would see that the attendance is failing, the grades are failing, talking with classmates has become less. So those are some signs that we need to be concerned about.
Sir Tofi, when we talk about mental health in the Philippines and of course seeking help from professionals in particular, minsan may stigma pa rin dun. I understand that there are more and more people who are more open, especially among influencers and those are trying to convince people that talking about mental health is more acceptable right now. But in your experience, is there still a stigma around mental health, especially when talking about suicidal thoughts, that stop people from seeking professional help?
Oh yes, I think that stigma is already embedded into our culture. Especially with Filipinos, since we are very collectivistic, we think that whatever we decide on whatever we say, might then affect the family that we belong to. That gives us that level of hesitation. So for example, if a person will say, hey, you know what, I have this serious problem, but I don't want to tell my mom because my mom might judge me. Or for example, I don't want to tell my dad because my dad is already working so hard. I don't want to encumber him with my personal problems. I don't want to be the source of the problem in the family. So those kind of thoughts become so much stigmatic to the point that it then creates a wall between the person with the problem and the people who could have helped him or her. So yeah, stigma still exists. That's why we need to look at it from a community perspective. We need to understand that each and every person that we can have can be a support system for us. Each and every person can be a source of hope. Each and every person could then offer an alternative perspective to what we need to give to our patients so that they would feel that it's okay. And I often tell this to people, when you are being approached by someone with suicidal intent, your response significantly matters. The way that you accommodate them can spell the life or death that this person might face.
Toffee, when we take a look at the fact that you mentioned it a while ago, younger and younger people are turning to suicide. There is a rise still in terms of the numbers of suicides, and for various reasons. Some of them as simple as, this is Weather HQ. Some of them as simple as the weather, how gloomy it is, and it affects their own mood, and all of these different triggers. When we talk about encouraging open conversations about the things that actually trigger someone to having these sort of thoughts, how would you advise those who are concerned, those who want to help and really be more proactive in dealing with this problem to help other people? How would you encourage them to start?
Okay, I think the first step here is to be more open to what other people would have to say. The less judgmental we are, that would be a better step in terms of suicide prevention. We need to understand that the big problem that person has may be not as big when it comes to your perspective, but you don't have to see it that way. Most people think that, talking to people, engaging with others might not be effective because they think that this problem is only with me. This problem is only big on my perspective. But the point here is that if those people who will be concerned will then let go of that particular judgment, we need to understand that, hey, you know what, whether it's a big or a small problem, the mere fact that it bothers you, then we'll have to deal with it. The mere fact that, something is really going on, then we need to address that. We need to understand that even though small cries for help become visible, we need to then give a full-fledged commitment in terms of helping that. Now, besides our attitude, we need to also understand that networking is very important. We need to know who are the people who could help us. So our mental health practitioners, our psychiatrists, our psychologists, our registered guidance counselors. These three are the licensed professions. They are the regulated professions within the country. And they are the best people that could help us. If you are a student right now, your guidance counselor is not there to scold you. Your guidance counselor is not there to just point out things that are wrong. They are really there to help, and they are trained to really ensure that your safety is a priority, your privacy and confidentiality is a priority. So I encourage students who are watching right now, maybe you're preparing for your school, your guidance counselor is very helpful. And then we have your psychologist. There are public hospitals that offer psychological services now. They are for free. And there are also NGOs that do this. So I think we just need to understand that this networks already exists. We need to then try to engage these services because these are readily available to help our kapwa Filipinos who are really distressed right now.
You know what, Sir Toffee, I think we could leave it at that because, of course, telling people how they can reach out to the right professionals to try and really solve this problem and, of course, raise more awareness for suicides here in the Philippines. We really appreciate your time, Sir Toffee. Thank you so much for joining us, and hopefully we can see you again soon and talk more about this issue in particular. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
He's Toffee De Jesus, a clinical psychologist, and of course, again, if you have any problems, he did mention where to go to, especially if you need professional help. So we do encourage everyone to go out there, stay safe, and of course, take care of yourself as well. That is it for Weather HQ at the moment, and back to you.
Thank you, Pao. Now it's time for us to find out what the stars have in store for us today. Let's hear it from our resident energizer and feng shui master, Hans Kua, in our horoscope of the day. Take it away, Master Hans.
Good morning! Beautiful day with me, Bilyonaryo Master Hans Kua. Ito po ang horoscope of the day. Ngayong araw ng Happy Friday, September 19. Simulan natin sa mga pinanganak ng Year of the Rat. Take the initiative na ayusin ang mga away, tampuhan. Huwag puro pride! Green at 4. Kaya oksaman tayo, iwasan ang mga instant ng mga pagkain. Magluto, kumain ng masustansya. Gold at 7. O, Year of the Tiger naman tayo, oras na para umamin kay The One. White at 6. Kay Rabbit naman tayo, huwag makinig sa mga marites. Keep calm and be professional. Blue at 2. Kay Drago naman tayo, paratilihin ang malinis na bed, kama at unan para masarap ang tulog. Purple at 9. O kay Snake naman tayo, makaka-receive ka ng project na challenging pero exciting! Yellow at 3. Ito naman! Care of the horsey, iwas tayo sa pagdadrive. Kapag stress, kapag pagod, safety first. Silver at 8. Ship naman tayo, ang simpleng tanong na, kumain ka na ba? Can go a long way. Orange at 5. Kay Year of the Monkey naman tayo, may income galing sa talent na hindi mo niasahan. Deserve mo yan! Gray at 4. Kay Year of the Rooster naman tayo, may unexpected na mga regalo na paparating. Green at 1. Kay Year of the Dog naman tayo, pwedeng may comeback kasama ang old flame. Nasa iyo na lang kung iiwas ka o mapapapaso ka dito. Red at 6. At Year of the Pig naman tayo, may napapansin na si boss. Kaya naman good job! Purple at 9. Paalala lang, ito po'y patnubay lamang. Ang tunay na swerte ay nagsisimula sa pagiging totoo. Abangan araw-araw ang horoscope of the day dito lang po sa Beautiful Day with me, Master Hans Kua.
Thank you as always, Master Hans Kua. Oh my goodness, our show is so jam-packed today.
Yes, sir.
I'm
And-
trying to catch my breath first.
Yes, sir. I mean, like, my transition was horrifyingly difficult, but we've got to move on because we have another guest here, and she called out political nepo babies, and the internet ate it up. Over 120,000 likes on her viral TikTok rant, and now she's not just making noise online. She's dropping bangers too. Her new single, Most High, drops this September 26. Who really is Baby Freeze? We'll find out in Daymix. Let's welcome Baby Freeze to the show. Beautiful day.
Hello. Hi, guys. Good morning.
Good morning.
Can we call you Sammy?
Yes, you can
Yes.
call me Sammy. That's like
that's
my
okay.
real person name.
Of
Okay,
course.
okay.
Real person name. So what is Baby Freeze?
So Baby Freeze is my like creative alter ego. It's like if Miley Stewart has Hannah Montana, Sammy has Baby Freeze.
Yeah, so let's talk about first. There's so much to talk about, but we're gonna start off first with Baby Freeze because you have this project coming up. The latest track, Little Ice, and of course your music journey. Can you tell us a bit more about it?
Yeah, so I really grew up around music. My mom was a musician. My dad was a radio DJ for like 20 years. So I really grew up around so many different kinds of music. I did a lot of theater as well growing up.
Okay.
So that's why, like, I don't know, I really love like attention and performing. And during the pandemic, during the time when I wasn't doing school and I was just online with my friends, we decided to just, hey, why don't we all become rappers? Let's listen to the artists that we like and try to do something on our own. And that's how it happened. So I just kept writing, and my friends thought it was good, but looking back on it now, it was horrible. I think it only started becoming good maybe like 2 years ago, and I finally got the guts to finally release a song.
Wow. Well,
As-
congratulations.
Yeah,
Thank you,
congratulations.
thank you.
As Baby Freeze, you know, you have this grungy Y2K, full face, dark makeup aesthetic going on as Baby Freeze, right? But as Sammy, looking at you now, you dress in a more, you know, simple streetwear fashion, right? How fun is it to live these two distinct personas?
I love it because I get to be like my regular kind of reserved self and just be chill, not wear, you know, I'm only in makeup now because I'm on TV.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like on my day-to-day, I'm not wearing makeup. I just get out of bed and wear whatever I'm wearing. But as Baby Freeze, I really get to channel like my creativity, not just with music, but, you know, with fashion as well, with the way that I dress and express myself. So it's fun to have that that change.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Do people know that you are Baby Freeze? Because si Hannah Montana and Miley Cyrus, they don't know. But of course, apart from that, people know you for your viral rant. like it even became music, courtesy of DJ Cupcakes. What's up, my guy? When we talk about that rant in particular, were you worried about any backlash first and foremost? And second, what really prompted you? What was the prompt that said like, okay, I need to say something?
Yeah. Well, for the first part, I'm no stranger to backlash on the internet or like going viral. Because actually, when I was in college, I did a climate strike at school, and there was a picture of me that went viral on Facebook. As in, like, my first time ever like reading comments and like being a comment warrior and like trying to defend myself. So it's really nothing new to me. Over the pandemic as well, I went viral on TikTok. So it's what gave me my platform now. And so it's nothing new to me. It's nothing that really gets to my head anymore, especially now that I'm older and more secure with myself. And I guess what prompted me to make that video is because I was seeing everything and it seemed so like bleak and like so negative. Like it really is a horrible issue, you know. But I think something common with Filipinos, or I guess just, you know, as humans, we want to make light out of a situation. So I thought, what is like a funny way to address this ongoing issue, but still make it just a little bit funny, you know, poke fun at the people who are making our situation so much worse.
Yeah, kasi akala ko galit lang siya sa mga hotel lobby eh. You know, hotel lobby or monogram shirts.
Yeah, but I love your story when DJ Cupcakes like called you up and said, "Hey, I'm gonna do a mashup of your video." Right? You were telling me off air that he called you up in the middle of the night.
At like 1:30 a.m. he messaged me. Like, cause we were not like Instagram mutuals yet.
Okay.
So I just got like a DM request from DJ Cupcakes. I said, "Who is DJ Cupcakes?"
I would ask the same question.
And then he was like, "Hey, I remixed your video." And first I was like, "What video are you remixing?" I was like, "What did I post on the internet?" And then he was like, "Oh, it was your Nepo baby rant. You're gonna see it in the morning." So I was like, okay,
perfect.
and then motivation to wake up early.
Yeah, so you woke up and it has gone viral already.
Yeah.
So many views, so many likes, so many clicks. Sammy, how important is it for you that, you know, this generation, not only do they look up to you as an artist, but also as someone who takes a stand on these important issues?
I think it's so important. You know, I was just thinking about how grateful I am to have a platform where, you know, people follow me. I have people who look up to me and people who can talk to me when, you know, they feel like they can. And because I'm in that position, I think it's only right that I talk about what I believe in and I'm passionate in that. And you know, I grew up being around people who encourage me to share what I believe in and to be strong in that, to be steadfast in that. And the fact that I get to do that now with myself and to share it with people who follow me and share the same beliefs, I think that's really powerful and it's really important. And you know, if I can even get just one person to do a little more research because of the things I say, if I can get one person to talk to their friends about, oh, did you guys see this video? Maybe we should look about it. So I think that's how I know that I'm doing something right.
You know, we're running out of time here, but then I want to ask this final question, or at least, you know, final serious question before we go. We know all over the region, actually, Nepal, Indonesia, Gen Z have been leading a charge there for their own political changes, or at least what they want in their respective countries. And you know, here in the Philippines, we're having more and more protests, or people are becoming a lot more vocal online. There was a one rant in particular that really caught my eye, just looking at the commentaries on our situations. They say Indonesia warriors, Nepal warriors, Filipinas keyboard warriors. How can we evolve from that, especially from a Gen Z perspective, to if you, first of all, should the Gen Z be more out there from a Philippines perspective in your point of view?
Well, I think from my perspective, it's really about gathering a community and making sure that community is safe enough and strong enough to go out, because you know, it's our right to be able to express ourselves, freedom of speech, to be able to protest and rally and complain about the situation that we're in. And I think as, you know, a registered voter, as a concerned citizen, as a taxpayer, I feel like it is my responsibility to not only like talk about that online, but also to support the people who want to go out and do that. Like me personally, like I'm gonna be joining the protest this weekend.
Oh,
And a bunch of my friends and I. So I think the keyboard warrior thing, it's a little bit of a joke, but at the same time, I think it's gotten to a point where a lot of people are really at the point na it's not enough anymore to talk about it online. You really have to take action, like to take tangible action and not just do it through your phone.
We just have to remind our viewers that Sammi is a rapper too, and she does make music, and
Yeah.
she is coming out with a new song, right? It's going to be called
Most High.
High. Yeah.
Yep.
So where can they catch your music?
You can stream my music on any digital streaming platform like
Yep.
Spotify or Apple Music, YouTube Music, and it's gonna be out like this day next week. And it's my first Taglish song.
All right.
wow.
Wow. First of all, as a fellow Konyo, congrats. Of course, before we let her go, and we always ask this one last question.
Yes, our show is called Beautiful Day. What makes your day beautiful, Sammi?
Ooh, what makes my day beautiful is just acknowledging everything that I'm grateful for. Waking up early, doing some meditation, journaling, and listening to a good song.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And speaking about beautiful days, we have only how many days left till Christmas? How many beautiful days left till Christmas? Let's bring it out. And we have 97 beautiful days till Christmas. Because we're the Philippines, September is Christmas time already. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Baby Free, Sammi Borro, her alter ego. Thank you so much for joining us and for all of the things that you share.
Thank
All
you,
right.
Sammi.
And that's a wrap on our show this Friday. We made it to the very end, September 19th. Thank you so much for joining us. Remember, join us for special coverage on Sunday on the protests happening all around the country. I'm Paolo de Rosario. Remember, keep it cool and take it easy.
And I'm Ann Asis-Carilo. Have a great day and a great weekend ahead. And always remember to choose joy, spread love and kindness wherever this day and this weekend takes you. See you again next week, Monday, 7 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. only here on
Beautiful Day!